Hi everybody, this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings, and welcome to my next installment for the Project Life mini series that I've been doing. You can go back on my website. I'll put a link right up top here. You can just click on it and it will take you right to the beginning of the series, and you can just see all of the different aspects that we've talked about. So I really wanted to talk about each of the basic aspects of Project Life and go into them in a little bit more detail. And so today we're talking about journaling, and I've gotten a lot of questions from you guys, comments, questions, emails, really asking what I put in my album. Somebody asked if they could see if I would go through my album in a little bit more detail, and I don't really feel like that's necessary because I do share my album at the end of every month. So the last Saturday of every month I share what that month looks like. So at the end of January I share all of January's what I've done in January. So what I will do is I thought I would start out this journaling let's see, what are we going to call it? This journaling post, or, I have a lot. I've done a pen review for you guys. I have that posted. I've done several videos talking about journaling, but I thought I would do an introduction to it and really jump in and just get a basic foundation for what is journaling. So in Project Life, when we do Project Lifestyle scrapbooks, let me get to a normal page. Okay, so when we're talking about doing a Project Lifestyle album, we are doing, I was trying to find something that didn't have inserts, crazy inserts in it. Like just a normal, okay, so this is just a normal week, where you just have the photos. Okay, and so we talked about what photos to take, how to take photos, if you're going to edit photos. But then you have this strip right here in the middle that is mostly journaling. And this video might be really long. I feel like I can already feel like I have a lot to talk about. So last year when I was doing my album, I decided to just do really basic photos and then journaling and not try to do anything fancy or crazy. Like, I just wasn't at that place. Towards the end of the year, I start getting to that place where I'm doing a little bit more. I'm adding a little bit more, doing journaling more creatively. But really, if you're just starting out with Project Life, I would just give yourself permission to just do the basic format where you're putting in photos and you're doing journaling. Now, if you're coming from a place where you've done traditional scrapbooking and you're transitioning into Project Lifestyle scrapbooking, so there's going to be some things that you're going to feel like, oh, am I going to have to let go of that? That's different than what I'm used to. But really, if you're making that transition, I really, really advise that the first year that you're making that transition, you just make it really simple on yourself and just get a feel for how this works. So you're going to put your photos in, and then you're going to do your journaling. Now, you can see that on this week, I've done all handwriting on my, just in the middle. I've not done any journaling on any kinds of photos or anything. I just kept it really simple. So I usually journal on the cards that go with the pictures. So, I'm reading my journaling to see. So this card right here goes with this picture. This goes with this picture. This journaling actually goes with these two pictures. And then this journaling goes with this photo. There's no journaling for this. This journaling goes with this photo. And then this journaling goes with this photo. So then these photos don't have any journaling. So I'm okay with that. This was just a typical week for our family. There wasn't anything going on. You can really see by this photo, you can see what Kayla's doing. This was just a picture of Andrew. Okay, so this, you can see that I didn't do a ton of journaling. I have a filler card here. I have my week number here, and I did that on purpose because I knew I didn't have a lot to say, I didn't want to say, here's Kayla and Andrew playing on the floor. Like there's nothing, you know, there's nothing going on. So that's okay. So I have a couple extra photos in here. So, but if you look at the beginning of my album, I wanted to show you guys, you really want to get in the habit of putting more of your life in your albums. As a traditional scrapbooker, you don't think to keep receipts or cards or stuff like that. Or if you do, you just tend to keep them in a box somewhere. So with your Project Life album, what I really want to encourage you to do when you're thinking about journaling, not just think about what do I say about this photo, but what is the story of my life? So here this is July through December. So July marks the beginning of a new business year. And so I had some awards from last year that I received. And so I stuck in here on an 8.5 by 11. I just get these 8.5 by 11 page protectors. I just get them at Staples. I order them online. I order 500 at a time and I'm just done. I use them all of the time everywhere. I use them for business. I use them for Project Life, everything. So here you can see I have a few cards and then this is so funny. So this is the, this is a Lowe's, it's not a receipt, it's a packaging slip. And what happened is we ordered a fan off online and it was a standing fan to go in our living room and it took forever to get here. And I kept thinking like, I wonder what the problem is. So about 3 weeks after I ordered it, I called them and was like, where is this fan? And they was like, oh, I can't find it in the system. And oh, it's shipping. It's going to be there tomorrow. So I was like, okay, fine. So the next day the fan came and I was like, okay, fine. No big deal. So then the very next day, the day after that, another fan came. And I was like, what is the deal? So I happened to just stick this in my album. I had cards and stuff and I just stuck it in there and I just thought, oh, funny, we ended up with 2 fans. Well, I called Lowe's and was like, we got 2 fans instead of just 1. What do you want me to do? And the gal was like, I don't see that you had any fans at all. Like, I don't see on your account that you ordered any fans or that you paid for any fans at all. And I was like, well, I did and I got 2. So it was this funny story. So then the story keeps going on. About 2 months later, one of the fans broke. And so I was like, really? Like, we just got this fan like 2 months ago, honestly. So I was like, well, I'll just call them and see if it's covered. So they said, well, if you have your shipping label, we'll replace it. So I had the shipping label because it was in my Project Life album. At first I thought, I don't have the shipping label. Like, why would I keep that? And then all of a sudden it occurred to me, oh, I did stick that in my album because it was a funny story. We ended up with 2. So that is something that like seems insignificant, but it's a story to tell. So then again, there was some other awards and then you get into here. And like I've kept receipts. This has hardly no journaling at all. It has 2 cards that are journaling and that's it. Here I started doing stuff on my actual photos. I used a different design and so I just journaled right above the photos. I tried to do a lot of journaling here. Here's a letter my husband received from work. You can see my album still isn't perfect. I still have a photo that I need to find and get printed and put in here, but I have the journaling that goes with it. Here I have the People magazine from when the royal baby was born. I'm not a big, huge royal People follower, you know, I don't worship them, crazy about them, you know, anything like that. But it just was something that was going on in the world around me. This was a huge deal. It was on all the news networks. I remember watching the day that they came out of the hospital and, you know, it was just like, I just wanted to include it in our album because I thought about when I was little and my mom watched Princess Diana get married and she remembers seeing that and you know, and I think, oh, it would be so cool to see something of what she was doing during that time or something from what was going on. So that's why I included that. I had plans for this that I never did. Just didn't happen. You can see in August, I didn't even fill out our calendar. So August was busy for us and I just didn't, and I'm not even stressed about it. It's there. It is what it is. I'm fine. So then here's a whole bunch of stuff. There's receipts. We had some work done on one of our vehicles. There's a card in there. Oh, we got a new bed and I ordered sheets and a pillow top. So all of that is just in there. There's no even rhyme or reason. It's just in there because, again, we were busy. So then we go through and there is an awards dinner I went to. Here's the Container Store receipt, and this receipt actually, so this is a perfect week. So you saw a week right here where I hardly had, I mean, there wasn't anything going on. Wherever that week was. Was it back one? Yeah, right here. So this week, here's the fan and the picture. Here's a week that nothing was going on. I hardly did any journaling. I just, you know, kept it simple. So this week, a ton of stuff went on. So I have journaling every single card. I have 2 inserts for different awards that I got. I have a receipt in here that actually matches one of my photos. And then, so all of this is just an insert in the middle of the week. So I have 2 8.5 by 11 inserts, and then I have 2 12 by 12 inserts. So this is just my normal week. Then I have this. I have a card and a receipt, and then this was a trip that I took, a business trip that I took, and I just did a design C. I did a little title card. I have my journaling and my photos from that trip, and then this is a trip that my husband went on the day before, and it was a funeral for his grandfather. He still hasn't journaled. I have Facebook status, so this is really, really, really telling the story. He had to drive up to where we used to live. It's about 4 hours away. And he posted on Facebook, I do not miss road work on Highway 20. And this was the road work. So he had snapped a photo of it. And then he didn't upload it, but he just he just did the status. So he had done that. And then, so I printed this photo when I saw it, and then this was all the responses to that from Facebook of what people said. And so that was really, he didn't necessarily have to write anything or come up with anything because that's telling the story of that photo. So I love to do that. Here is the funeral announcement and then a card that I had made him. It's all tucked in there. And then see right here, I did a little bit of journaling by the photo. And then this is what was happening while I was gone or while he was gone, what was just our normal day stuff. Here's another Facebook status. Here's a postcard we got. So you can see as you know, here, journaling sort of goes with photos. So you can't really talk about journaling without talking about photos, and you can't really talk about photos without talking about journaling because they're both telling your story. So the thing you have to remember is, even as I've had people say, well, my life's not that interesting, nothing really happens, it's just normal stuff that I do every day. Well, what are those things that you do? This is an insert that I did for the beginning of September. September marks September to me just means the start of the holiday season for me. I just love it. It means fall's coming. It means the holidays are coming. I just really love the beginning of September. And so I took photos of the decorations around my house, of my favorite Starbucks drink, and I did an entire insert of that, and I did my calendar on the back here, and you can see right away back in September, I'm right back in the swing of things, writing stuff down. So that's the things that you have to try to remember as you are as you start doing Project Life and you think, okay, well, now what do I say, or what photo do I take? So what are some of the, when thinking about journaling, what are the photos that you're going to take that are going to tell your story? I say on my blog, I don't have a photo of it, so I can't show you guys. You can look on my blog and see the photo. There's a photo of some mountains that we used to see looking out our living room window. and I snapped the photo of it, and I never thought anything about it because I wasn't Project Life scrapbooking at the time. I was doing traditional pages, and so it never occurred to me to print that photo or scrapbook it. But as I see it, it really brings back memories of our first home together, of being newly married, of having our first baby. It just, when I see that, it's something that I saw every single day, and I loved it. I loved that the mountain view that we had, and in the winter there would get snow on it, and it was just really beautiful, and it really brings back those memories of our home and our life during that time. And I'm sad that I don't have that photo printed and it somewhere to look at physically. And then also, there was somebody who left a message on YouTube. I believe it was a YouTube comment, and she said that there was a tree outside, I think she said her kitchen window, and she loved the tree. You know, she just loved looking at it. It's something that she saw all the time as she was doing dishes, or, you know, I'm sure she looked out the window and saw it change over the seasons, and it was just something that she really enjoyed. And I believe she had said she moved maybe, and she didn't have, I think she said she moved. I'm sorry if I'm not remembering correctly, but she was saying that she didn't have a photo of that tree. So she didn't have, you know, she couldn't look back at it, but it was something that was part of her life. And I think about if she had a photo of that with just a caption or something saying, you know, this is what I look at while I'm doing the dishes, or whatever it was, it would be really neat for her to be able to look back and see that, or even family to look back and be like, oh, all that time she spent cooking and doing dishes, and that was her view. So I think those are the things that we have to begin thinking about when we're putting in our album. This is really fun. I put a hot tamale box, and here my husband and I were just on this kick. We were having like 2 boxes a week of this, and it was just something that was really, what was happening in our life. We would split a box after the kids would go to bed, and so it was like this really fun just thing that we were having, where it'd be like, okay, the kids are in bed now, we can have the hot tamales. And we would just talk about our day, and it was just fun to include that into my album, and it's not something I would have done as a traditional scrapbooker. So then also the things that you can do is like a week in review. So you can just write about the things that have happened during your week. You know, maybe if you don't feel like, well, I can't take a photo of this and actually write something to go with the photo, you can just do a week in review, and it can actually take up a slot in your album, so that you don't, I didn't need a photo for this day because I just wrote about it. Also, you know, I'm getting more familiar with taking these everyday kind of photos and telling our story. And so like I took a picture of my coffee cup and the computer because I was taking an online class. And so that was my photo, and I wrote about that. Here's Facebook statuses and how I do that. And I will have a video tutorial on how to do that in this blog post. Again, here's cards and receipts. Here's our favorite show. This is our date night, Monday night. Castle, we love it. It's our date night. That's what we do. So for Monday, I just took this and put it in our album. My calendars tell a lot of our story because I do write different things down and appointments that we have and things like that. I keep receipts. This is a really great thing that I thought to do, that I'm really glad that I did. This picture is of a bunch of shopping stuff in the front of my car. And it was the first time that I ever took the kids out by myself. So I took all 3 of the kids out about an hour and a half down, and I did shopping, and I was gone all day. And I got home and they were asleep in the car, and it was a day. Andrew, he's 2, he threw up on the way there, and so I had to stop and deal with all of that. And then just having them out by myself all day long. They are 5, 3, and they were like 2, 4, and 6 basically. And it's something that I just never thought I would be able to do. It's not something that I thought I would be capable of with the way our lives have been in this last year. And so I got home and I saw all this stuff in the front seat from shopping, and the kids were passed out in the back. And I just snapped that photo. That was my photo for the day. And then I kept some of the tags, and then that's just kind of what I wrote about for that. And I didn't have to have anything to write in this slot because I kind of kept the tags, and I thought it would be really neat for the future to look back and see how, how much something cost or whatnot. Here's a day where I wrote a lot. So instead of doing a photo, this journaling actually goes for this photo. And so I just didn't have a photo for that day. I just decided to do journaling. And here I've done a lot of journaling, and I just was, maybe I was just in the mood to journal. So that's what I did. I also keep some of the kids' artwork in here. This says Happy Birthday Violet, so her birthday was here. Again, I just did that same thing where I used a card to do some journaling, so I obviously didn't have a photo for that day. So that is this is still not quite finished. Almost. I just have to go back and get the information, but you can see that, and then like see I'm missing a photo for here. I think I need to get it printed. Here's some receipts into December. I have most of my journaling to do for December still. This was, it's obviously our December calendar. And then on the back is it's our Christmas card that I did. And so I just let that be the very back of it. I'm really out of room to continue to keep adding stuff, so I knew I didn't want to put cards or anything else in here. And then I just have photos to get printed and journaling to be done, and my album will be done. So that is, I'll go ahead and I'll close this video with that. That's kind of the intro to journaling. So I'll have a few more videos for you guys. I'm going to do a Facebook tutorial, how to take your Facebook statuses and print them. I also have a pin review for you guys that will be up. And then I think I will be ending this series with the setup of my 2014 album and a share on a personal progress album that I will be doing for 2014. So thank you guys so much for coming by. I hope that you're getting some ideas on some things to add to your albums with journaling. And then let's just jump in right to our next video and get going with some more ideas. So I will be back.